Hey everyone, I'm John from American Eagle Plumbing, and in today's video we're going to be replacing a water shutoff valve behind the toilet. This is the valve that we're using. It is a Wolverine Brass shutoff valve, and the great part about this particular valve is that if you remove this handle, you can replace the cartridge. There's the cartridge in the body of this valve, and if it ever fails, you can go ahead and remove the handle and then pull out the cartridge and replace it. We're going to go outside and turn the water off because here in the south, all the water meters are outside. So let's go and I'll show you how to do that to start.
So here in the south, all the water meters are outside in the front. They're going to be on the corner of the property, and sometimes they're located, if you have a corner lot, they might be on the opposite side. So it's a good idea to know where your water meter is located. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the meter box right here, and we're going to use the meter key, and we're going to line up these two holes, this one here to this one there, and that's when we know the water is off. We're going to go ahead and give this a twist. The water's now off, and we can drain down and bleed out the system. So it's always a good idea to shut the water off before you try to change out your valve. Once we have the water off outside, we're going to go ahead and open up these faucets, and this is just going to relieve the excess pressure that's built up in the lines. And once that kind of drains down, we're going to get to work. So the reason we're changing the shutoff out today is this particular one is a shark bite, and you can tell that because there's no connection behind here. It's just internally, and I'll show you here in the video in a minute when we get pulled it off, but there's just a rubber gasket and some metal clips that hold this onto this PEX line. The other reason we're going to change this out is you can see here this toilet water supply line, that's a factory crimp right to the valve. So if this toilet supply ever had to be changed out, we'd be replacing the shutoff valve anyways. As you can see in this, on this valve has the threads so that the toilet supply can be changed out despite the valve. So there's a couple reasons why we're going to go ahead and do that today. So now that we got it all set up, you're going to want to grab yourself a little bowl, place that underneath. Probably going to have some rags handy because it's still going to be a little wet. You're going to get a little water, and we're going to just get the little bit of water that's still coming out. Now on a shark bite, the way to release it or the way to get it off the pipe, there's a couple ways you can do it. They make a tool that clips behind here, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to push this back thing in. That's kind of like a lock. I don't have that particular tool, but that's okay. We're going to improvise, and I'm going to use a little crescent wrench. So what we're going to do is put this on there and get it to where it's nice and snug, and then you have to push it in, and then this whole fitting just slides right out. All right. So there's a tube stiffener on here, which is actually kind of impressive, and that makes this piece of PEX a little stronger. But the reason I'm going to try to point this a little at the camera is there's a gasket right in there, and those are the teeth that holds this valve in place. Little suspect, which is the reason I'm not a particularly big fan of shark bite fittings. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to change out this wall escutcheon right here. There's always a great opportunity to change these out. As you can see, sometimes there gets a little paint on there or a little drywall mud from construction. So I'm going to just go ahead and pull that off and get rid of it. And I have a brand new one that I'm going to slip in its place, and that's going to cover this little hole right here from the drywall and from construction. So we're going to just slip that right on there. Now the type of PEX that's being used, or the type of adapter is being used, I'm going to be using a Viega stainless steel crimp ring. That's this guy right here. This hole shows me that it's fitted on there all the way. So when I slip it on there, it's a guide. I can see that my pipe is sitting all the way right there. And then this Wolverine Brass shutoff valve goes in just like that. And now it's all ready to be crimped. We'll double check. I can see the pipe. And then this particular type of fitting requires a ratchet crimper. And I'm going to go ahead and slip this over the fitting, make sure it's square and fitting directly on the piece of pipe. I'm going to go ahead and give this a squeeze, and I know that it's complete because then this tool releases. And this is a shutoff valve that is all ready to have a toilet hooked up to it. Now all we have to do is go outside and turn the water back on, and we're good to go. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and useful. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'd love to be able to answer those for you. Or if there are any other videos that you want to see that would be helpful, drop them also in the comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Be great.